All right, so first thing, we need to install Cutout FX. And it's super easy using ZXP Installer. Once you've got ZXP Installer open, just find your extension file and drag it right into this window here. Drop it in and that's it. It'll install automatically. Now, we're gonna go ahead and create a comp using Video Source Clip. I'm gonna just choose a cool little moment and trim comp to just focus on this section. All right, so before we actually apply the Cutout FX effect, there's one really important thing you need to understand. We need transparency. What I mean by that is your layer needs to have an alpha channel. You're gonna need to do some rotoscoping first. You can use the roto brush tool, or if you prefer, you can do manual masking, whatever works for you. So for this demo, I've already gone ahead and done my roto work. I've got this character here that's been cut out from the background, and we're ready to go. I'm gonna go up here to Window, go down to Extensions, and then find Cutout FX right here. Click on that, and boom, there's our panel. Click on the main button, and there we go. Effect applied successfully. Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna disable everything so we can start from scratch and see what each piece adds to the effect. Let's start building this up. First thing, I'm gonna enable Cut 1. And you can see it's got these parameters here. Radius controls how far out that edge goes, and Roughen adds that hand-cut organic feel to it. But here's where it gets really cool. Watch what happens when I enable Cut 2. You can see it's created this additional outline. And this is what really sells the effect. It gives you that depth, that layered paper look, you know, like actual cut paper stacked on top of each other. I think it looks great. Okay, that's without the grunge. Now let me turn it back on. As you can see, it's adding this texture and noise directly to the footage. It's making it look more aged, more worn, you know, like old printed paper or vintage photographs. So let's say you want that really vintage, distressed paper cutout look. You can crank up the grunge, add some noise, maybe desaturate it a bit. You can have a lot of fun with this. We've also built some presets that come with cutout effects. And these are super handy because you can use them as they are, or you can use them as a starting point for your own custom look. Now, if you haven't installed them yet, my favorite way of doing it is to just find a preset, either in User Presets or the Presets folder. Just select any preset that's already there, and then go to this menu here and say, Reveal in Explorer, or Reveal in Finder if you're on a Mac. And that will open up the directory where your presets are stored in. So once you've got that folder open, just copy and paste your Cutout FX presets into that folder, and then come back here to After Effects and say, Refresh List, and they'll show up. You won't even have to restart After Effects. All right, so let's go ahead and use one of these. And I'm gonna make sure that I select the effect first. That's very important. So I'm gonna go into my Effect Controls panel, and I'm gonna click on the Paper Cutout effect here. Just select it so it's highlighted. And now, over in the Presets panel, I'm just gonna double click on. So yeah, these presets are a great way to quickly explore different styles without having to manually adjust every single parameter. And like I said, you can always use them as a starting point and then go in and tweak individual settings to dial in exactly the look you want. And of course, save it as your own preset. So let's say I've been tweaking these settings, adjusting the texture, playing with the colors, getting everything dialed in perfectly. Now I want to save this as a preset so I can use it again later. Here's what I do. I'm going to select the control layer. Then I go up to animation in the menu bar, and I'm going to choose Save Animation Preset. That opens up a save dialog, and I can name this whatever I want. Hit enter, and boom, that preset is now saved. All right, let's talk about FPS button. What it's doing is actually changing the frame rate of the Cutout FX composition. So when you click this button, it's not just changed some visual effect. It's actually changing the frame rate of the main composition itself. When you open composition settings, you can see the frame rate. Now, one more thing. When you go to Advanced tab here in Composition Settings, you'll see this option, Preserve Frame Rate when nested or in render queue. So let's say your other main composition is running at 24 frames per second, but you want this Cutout FX comp to stay at 8 frames per second for that choppy stop motion look. This checkbox makes sure that happens. If you want to keep the original frame rate but still get that choppy stop motion look, you can set this to Original and then just enable the Posterize Time effect on the control layer. All right, so here's a really handy feature, the copy and paste buttons. And what these let you do is copy all your settings from one cutout FX instance and paste them onto another one. Always remember to select that control layer. That's the key. And then I'm just gonna hit the paste button right here. Boom. Settings applied successfully. All right, so what if you apply the effect and then realize, oh wait, that's not quite what I wanted. Or maybe you applied it to the wrong layer by accident. Don't worry, there's an undo button built right into the panel, right here. If you look at your project panel now, that last cutout effects folder we created is gone, and the composition is cleaned up. Everything's back to how it was before you applied the effect.